abandoned the affair, baby.
It's just a little baby.
So yeah, I, 35 male, was at home with my parents helping out with something. Mom and dad, 64 male, were out when the doorbell rang. I opened up and saw this really nervous woman, 20 female, standing there asking if my dad's name lived there. I said, yes, he does. That's my dad. And she got even more nervous. By the way, this comes from throwaway 28283233. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So I asked if she was okay. She was really nervous. Then I got nervous and asked if something had happened to my uncle. He had been ill for a while, and I thought maybe she was a nurse or something. And she said, no, it's not about that. I don't know why, but I told her she could come in and wait since they were due back in 20 minutes. She said yes and asked if I could get her anything. She just said water. I was really intrigued and wondered why she was so nervous and why she wanted to see my dad. We chit-chatted for a bit and I heard the car pull up, but Mom had apparently stayed behind with my aunt to do something and my dad came alone, which I would be very thankful for within the next 10 minutes. Dad walked in and said, "Oh, am I interrupting something?" I said, "No, she's here to see you apparently." I told her she could wait inside until you came home. My dad, being the upbeat guy that he is, just asked what he could do for her and shook her hand. She introduced herself and then asked if he knew a woman by the name of Laura. Made up name. My dad froze. Then she said, "I think you may be my father."
Whoa! That's out of nowhere.
Dang. She just showed up. He had no clue.
How did she know where you lived?
Well, she probably did a little bit of research. You know, the
old-fashioned way. The yellow book.
Yeah, the yellow book, the yellow pages.
Yellow pages.
All that. Dad sat down and looked at her. "You're Laura's daughter?" She said yes, and her mom had admitted to her father that she was not his biological daughter and that she was born as a result of an affair 21 years ago. I expected my dad to deny everything, but he just went, "Oh my God, Laura got pregnant." In check-in.
Come on, man.
Yeah, you had an affair and then you're like, all right, bye.
Yeah, there's no consequences to that. No.
He looked shell-shocked. The woman then explained that her mother had told her that dad, my dad, could not have known about it since she never told him. Her parents' marriage had gone to hell, apparently, and her dad, who raised her, wants to divorce her mom after finding out. Her entire life had exploded. Her parents had not dealt with this well. My dad did not deny it and said the timeline fit. Her mom had also said that she had not been with anyone else besides my dad and her husband. Paternity tests taken the next day would prove that she was indeed dad's daughter. She had two sisters as well who were her dad's biological daughters after her dad demanded a paternity test. I was sitting there in silence, just staring at dad. I had been an only child all my life, and now this woman sitting across from me at the table is my half-sister. Little sister, no less. I knew this meant that dad had cheated on mom, which angered me, but I still felt so bad for this poor woman and just told dad, "I think we better finish this conversation at my place before mom gets here." I said to dad, "You are going to tell mom about this, but not with her here." Yeah, don't like surprise her with your affair, baby, when you're like, "Yeah, so I cheated on you." Proof.
We have a new addition to the family.
Yay.
She has half of my looks.
And none of yours.
Whoops.
'Cause I cheated on you.
Uh-oh.
Wow, that is a lot to take in. And poor OP's just like,
Yeah, could you imagine
wow.
New half-sister, dad cheated on mom.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to have lunch.
Yeah, and I just got here. I just got here.
I just got home alone. I was like, "Oh, this is great. I'm going to have a sandwich."
Facts.
Oh well.
I was worried how my mom would react to my little sister and did not want all hell to break loose. They both agreed, and I told her that she could stay at my place if she needed somewhere to stay. How kind. Wow. I got in my car and drove her to my place. She had traveled quite a while by train, and she lived on the other side of the country. Meanwhile, my dad had told my mom and admitted to everything. My mom was not happy. Yeah. But she was actually more concerned for my half-sister and her family in all of this. And she ordered, most likely, dad to take responsibility for this poor girl. My dad just said yes. Dad and Mom came over to my place, and my half-sister woke up. She had been resting on my couch. I had never been more scared to see my mom in my life. Mom came in, just winked at me, and kissed me on the cheeks. She is taking this super well. My dad looked like he had just had the biggest dressing down of his life. Mom introduced herself to my half-sister, and to my relief, Mom was not upset with her at all. This mom sounds great. I mean, why did he cheat on her? Not that anyone should be cheated on, but she sounds awesome.
Well, it's one of those things you're like,
Suck.
there's no point of getting upset now.
Yeah,
I guess.
I guess so. She totally would be in the right if she did.
No, she's 100% allowed to be, but
Yeah.
like, what is gonna be yelling and like throwing things and
Yeah.
like pointing the finger gonna do now? It's happened.
This happened 20 years.
21 years later.
She just seems so chill about this.
Yeah.
This is crazy. My mom seemed more curious than anything else, and they had a lot in common, apparently. Me and my dad were confined to the kitchen during that conversation. Yes, my apartment, but I did not want to argue with Mom now. My mom walked out 20 minutes later and just said, "She's a lovely girl. She's so chill about this." Mom and Dad are not separating. My dad was relieved. Mom had said to Dad, "I'm too old to start dating, and you're stuck with me now regardless."
Mom's got jokes. Mom's
She's like,
chill.
"Yeah, you cheated on me, but I guess I'm cool with it."
Mom's chill AF. She's just like, all right, this is life now.
Okay then, girl, whatever floats your boat. Dad was relieved, and Mom had demanded to know if there were others, and my dad said no. Not that he would know. Didn't know about this one for 20 years.
Yeah. Whoops.
Dad and I had been talking quite a lot. I'm still angry with him for cheating. He knows that, but he said if he's gonna spend the rest of his life making it up to Mom, he would. My dad also has answered every question my half-sister asked of him, and she, I guess, is trying to find out who she is. She loves her dad who raised her, and she told my dad she could never call him dad. She loved her dad, and my dad understood that. She, however, asked if I was okay with her telling her friends she had a brother. I said that's fine. Not sure why I was so accepting of this, but I just felt like making sure she was okay somehow. I had a long conversation with Mom as well. I was worried if she was handling this as well as she showed, and yeah, she was pissed at Dad, but she also felt horrible for the girl and her father. Her mom, Dad's affair partner, on the other hand, she had no sympathy for her. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, she's not gonna have sympathy for the person that her husband cheated with.
Yeah,
She's cool, but she's not that cool.
yeah, no, she's reasonable.
Yeah.
Makes sense. There's no reason to be mad, especially at the
child.
The child in this case.
Dad has gone the extra mile for Mom these last few days. Breakfast in bed, flowers, you name it. Mom is probably going to enjoy this for a while, as she should. So yeah, that's how my last 2 weeks have been. With my dad's extended family calling me nonstop as well, all curious about her. My aunts on my father's side are wanting to meet their niece. Not going to throw that young woman to the wolves, also known as my aunts, until she has some time to absorb this herself. I, for one, think she's nice, and she's my little sister. Not how I expected this year would turn out, to say the least. But you should expect to listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story, but that was the smoothest cheating story I've ever read.
As butter. It's
like, oh, new kid? Cool. Cheated on your wife? She's fine.
Her mom sucks. And then like for her, like, welcome. If you need, like,
welcome to the
open
family.
Arms. Literally open arms.
This is the chillest family. They're all like, yeah, we have a new affair baby sibling daughter. Welcome to the family.
I mean, yeah. If it's she was like, this is let's be realistic here. I'm too old.
Yeah.
We've been through this way too long. We've been together. There's no reason to like end it, to start new lives. Let's just, you owe me. And the breakfast in bed, do this, get me flowers.
Yeah, she's like, you owe me. But it feels like he like forgot to pay a bill rather than had a whole, that's what this is what this feels. She's like, you're gonna be cooking for me.
You're
for
on
a
timeout,
while, mister.
You're naughty.
You bad boy.
But yeah, no, this is great. I guess everything's working out. OP, it seems like get to know your half sister now and support her.
I have a new sister.
Yeah, it's great.
Cool.
Because OP's been a only child, so makes sense. He's like, I have a sister now. Sick. Yeah.
Nice. Don't care how they sourced her. But there is a little bit left to this story. Sophie says, OP's dad looked out. Yeah. I honestly just hope her parents will make it through this. Her sisters are around my age, 32 and 34. She said she had not been treated differently by them, which is a relief, and her dad still loved her. But she needed to meet my dad despite that. She just wanted to know. She had hoped we were all clowns, and instead she said, "You're all nice people." Yeah, you guys are just too nice. So yeah, 2021. Any more surprises in store for me? Just you wait, OP. Just you wait. Comments. Props to your mom for being good to her. A lot of women tend to be mean to the affair kids as if it's somehow their fault and not the person who actually had the affair. Comment 2 says, this kind of situation is so much more common than we would imagine. There are several therapists who specialize in helping families deal with these big shifts and changes, and lots of resources, including podcasts about it too. Everything's relative. Great one. I'm happy to hear you and your mom seem to be able to accept this situation well, and I'm sure your sister is really appreciative too. When I signed up for the DNA databases, I secretly hoped I would find a sibling somewhere, just because it feels so lonely being the only person in my family who is like me, sensitive, empathy-driven. And I didn't find any siblings, but I did find out more about my dad's biological family. He never knew his bio dad, and I also didn't have him around long enough before he died. And knowing more has had a huge impact on my life and how I see myself in a very positive way. I hope that you grow to have a great relationship with your sister and that you two stay connected. Comment 3, your family should avoid her. She is not a part of it. It's sad but true. It won't end well. The only one she could have some kind of relationship with is her dad. You and your mom didn't sign in for that mess. Dude, did you not read the story? Normally I'd be like, yeah, I get what you're saying. This family is chill. They want this girl.
If the affair child was looking for like money or like looking for drama or looking just to like get something,
I don't even think she was looking for
I guess like having your
family.
hands a little bit more up, but like
Yeah.
she came, she's like, hey, I just found this out and I just want to see who my real dad is, and that's that.
And then they were like, you're fake. And she's like, I was not expecting this.
Yeah. No, she was like, I was expecting clowns, literal clowns.
Commenter
and
3, I don't know your name. You suck.
a little aggressive commenter 3. Yeah.
But that's the end of that story. So wholesome.
That was great. That was probably one of the nicest like affair stories we've had.
Truly, like, huge affair problem. Very simple solution.
Yeah.
I guess.
You know what's funny when you cut the wrapping paper?
Yeah.
And it just
Yeah,
glides.
it just glides.
You're like,
yeah.
that was easy.
Too easy.
Yeah.
But we've got another story, folks.
Yeah.
Samantha L says, I want to do a DNA test. I can almost guarantee I have half siblings out there from my dad. What's stopping you? Or is it just like, you're like, I want to do it, but I'm going to uncover so many secrets.
Secret.
Tricky. Caitlin Von Compen says, my mom did 23andMe and found out that she was the affair kid. She was 42 at the time.
Whoa.
Oof. That's tough.
Better late than never.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Is it? Would you rather find out that you were an affair child or never find out?
I would want to find out.
Okay.
But I know for a fact I'm not.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know that.
Because I was literally a mistake.
Oh.
Yes.
Nice.
My parents were like, ooh, that's why you have 2 last names.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was a mistake.
My mother who abandoned us wants to reconcile.
You abandoned us. No second chances.
She and my father were high school sweethearts. We lived in a rural place that's not big enough to be called a town, but still larger than your average village. Is there a term for that? Like hamlet? That's not. Maybe that's smaller than a village.
I don't.
Anyway, they settled into a farmer's life after graduating and had my brother 7 years later. She left us when my brother was only a month and a half old baby. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Farmer, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, to this day, I can still remember waking up to get ready for school and finding my father on the ground, kneeling over and crying, holding one of my notebooks. I was just a child at the time, and seeing my father curled up like that made me cry too. And that's when my father got a hold of his emotions and righted himself up to pick me up. She, in her hurry to leave, literally took a notebook from my school bag and wrote her half-butt excuses for why she was leaving us. Whoa.
Wow. So we start off with childhood trauma for OP.
Oh my goodness.
Phenomenal.
OP comes downstairs or whatever.
Yeah.
Sees her father
Yeah.
sobbing into one of her notebooks that her mother has just written, "I'm leaving you" with.
With like, well, we're going to see why she's leaving, which I want to know.
How she never wanted kids, how she shouldn't have gotten pregnant, how things should have turned out differently, how this small town was smothering her around
She's just
her
a small
neck.
town girl living in a lonely world.
Took the midnight train, going anywhere.
Jeez.
She needed to get away, and now the second child, my brother, was the final noose that would let her breathe. I learned what she wrote in that notebook a year or so later when I found it in the drawers. We left with our truck and had someone deliver it to us a month or so later without even sending a word or anything. Just some guy came and said, "Here's your truck." My father was a mess afterward, not taking care of the farm, stopped eating, started drinking. It was the fact that I stopped going to school to take care of my brother, along with my aunt, her sister, and her husband's words that finally made him bounce back. But you could see he was sad for a lot of years, and still, even after a decade, he would get all closed up around the time she left or on their anniversaries. It was us, Dad and I, who took care of my brother. I'd come back from school, do the dishes that were left over from our breakfast, and take care of my brother until he was a few years older. Then I slowly became the woman of the house, so to speak. I'd cook the food, do the dishes, take care of my brother after school, while my father would spend nearly all his waking hours trying to manage the farm. Wow. We weren't the richest people around, but with only one depressed adult and 2 small kids, we earned more than what we needed and even saved up a bit for my brother's college fund. My father insisted that I should have one for myself as well, but I was spending too much time on domestic and farm-related stuff to actually focus on my studies. And if I have to be honest, I loved the farm, the animals, and taking care of my brother. Anyway, nearly a year ago, she returned to visit her family, my aunt and us too, and she was apparently planning on settling back here permanently. We knew that she had a good few years of modeling. What? She ran away and became a model?
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Small town model.
Imagine being
Yeah.
like a child and you're like, yeah, my mom left me. Here she is in the magazines.
She's voguing.
That's my mom, which led to her joining the staff of some sort of magazine from her aunt, as she still called her from time to time. She tried calling us a few times as well, but I refused to talk with her. And I think she was too ashamed to ask to talk with my brother. Anyway, when she came back, she apparently had enough to settle back here with a new house and some land. After a few days of her coming here, she tried to contact us again when she and my dad ran into each other at the town center. My dad says he told her about my opinion on her, but she insisted. Apparently, she owed that to me, and I shoved it, for the lack of a better term, with a few extras on the side as well. She tried the emotional, regretful parent on me, with her crying and all, but I don't buy it. Or rather, I just wish she never came back to disturb us and had lived in her airy, breathable, big city life and left us the heck alone. My brother was not there at the time, as he's in his first year of college. He was admitted via early enrollment, thanks to him being the lovable genius that he is. I knew my dad was still in love with her. I tried to set up a few dates for him before, but it never went anywhere. And that summer, this summer, they started dating again, to my dismay and my brother's joy.
I mean, he's been so lonely, but that's terrible.
No, I'm sorry. You're dating the woman that abandoned you and your kids,
Sophia,
years ago?
now he's dating a model.
Yeah, now he's like, well, now she's a model. You have to understand, she's doing very well for herself.
She's the hottest part of the town now. She's the talk of the town.
I would feel so betrayed as OP.
Yeah.
Like seeing your mom, like literally your dad sobbing on the floor over your mother, you having to become parentified because your mom abandoned you and your dad was in this depressive state and left you. Like, yeah, he was doing a lot of work and trying to keep his family together, but he did parentify you. And you did have to like miss out on schooling and stuff. Like no matter if he said, oh, you should have a college fund too, and you were like, oh, it's fine. He should, as a parent, be like, no, we're getting you a college fund, you know? But he didn't, because he was dealing with all of this stuff. And then after all of those sacrifices, to accept her back is crazy to me.
Yeah. I mean, that's insane to me that she'd even like zero. It seems like zero contact,
Yeah.
zero help.
Yeah. Is there any
nothing.
monetary, like financial
It
help
didn't
happening
seem
here?
like it. It seemed like they were working hard. There's no reason to welcome her back with open arms.
Yeah. No. To date her is crazy.
Yeah.
My dad invited her over to dinner when my brother came back from his summer break, and we had a family dinner. I wanted to warn my brother about her, but seeing his enthusiasm about it, I couldn't break his heart. So I just stayed civil and didn't speak unless spoken to. My father had kept that notebook for more than a decade, but I decided to burn it when I was 19. My father and I had a pretty big fight about how I had no right to burn it. But I said to him that it was better than my brother accidentally finding it and reading how his mother thought him a noose around her neck that wouldn't let her breathe. Excellent point. Why is OP?
Sentence.
Yeah, I know. Why is OP having to be the adult in this situation?
It seems like the dad is holding on to like
He's
the
failed.
last. Yeah, he's holding on.
Failed them. I do understand that he has gone through this really terrible. Like, yes, he was depressed. Yes, he was betrayed. But when you're a parent, yeah, like you can't. You're still culpable for.
The father is grasping to the notion of what she was before.
Yeah.
When they were together, he's like, "Oh, I've been yearning for this. I want this back," and that's what it is. And it's not. It's not the same. It's never going to be the same.
No. Kim finds his prodigal model.
That's funny. Yeah.
Now, whenever I see her in our house talking with my brother, who looks up to her like a genie finally granted his wish, I remember what she wrote. And the rage and hatred that goes through my very soul is becoming that goddamn noose that won't let me breathe. My brother had a talk with me this morning about me being cold towards her, and it turned heated when my brother said, "Why wouldn't I be happy? I finally have a mother. We finally have a mother." And I shouted back at him, "I was your mother, not that. And I don't have a mother." I made my brother storm out of the house, crying, and seeing him cry made me cry while my father tried to mediate between us and failed. Of course he's failed. He's failed over and over again. He needs, Guy says he needs therapy. Absolutely.
He failed the second he let her back.
Well, he failed when he made OP a parent. He failed when he didn't go to therapy after, years and years of being in this, hole, like depressive hole. That I just am very upset on OP's behalf.
It seems like OP literally, once she left out that door, childhood gone.
Yeah. The fact that I can't tell him that I hate her because she detested us, her own gosh darn children, because it will hurt him more. The fact that she abandoned and scorned the loveliest, most innocent looking baby with sky blue eyes when she was supposed to be a mother to him. I was a gosh darn 7-year-old child.
That's insane. 7 years old, and then that day, you're now a parent, pretty much.
I cooed at him and changed his diapers for the first time with my aunt showing me how it's done, and I didn't resent him. I loved him like a brother, and I loved him like she was supposed to. And the little comments people make about her and me now that she's back are just salt to the wound about our likeness. Even my brother once commented on how we looked so alike, smiled like each other, and how she probably looked like me when she had him, and it took all my willpower not to snap at him. I know that being this bitter, cold person will drive my brother away, and I know I should stop if I wish to preserve this blissful moment, even though the cause is her. But I can't help it. The worst part is, since she came back, she's not the heartless piece of crap that left us. She never raised her voice when I cursed at her when my brother was not around, or told her to leave us alone, or when I asked if she was avoiding me because I shouldn't have been born at all, and she's trying to fix a mistake by avoiding me. I once even told her, does she think about the noose when my brother hugs her? And she just looked gut-wrenched and got teary-eyed, but only apologized and didn't try to defend herself. I can't even enjoy hurting her. She doesn't fight back. She's not the monster I made her out to be. At least she isn't now. The worst part today made me resentful and tired, like I don't even have the strength to feel emotions. I actually understand the resentfulness now. But we'd never resent you. If you're listening to full episodes of stories just like this, just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to the story.
Yeah.
I think that your mom has probably gone through a lot. She was probably very young when she had you two. and she didn't know how to deal with being a mother, and she probably had to take on a lot of the childcare while your dad was working on like the farm. Does that mean that you have to forgive her right now? No.
No way. No. But
No.
I feel like OP, you don't owe your mother anything.
No.
But I feel like a conversation, just you and her, just saying
Yes.
how you feel and how she made you feel when you left and everything
Absolutely.
you know that's happened, and what she made you go through, you need to tell her that, and she needs to understand and realize that she failed as well as a mother.
And also, I think therapy, because you don't want to hold on to this resentment and anger and stuff,
It's just gonna grow.
because it just hurts you.
Yeah.
And your dad has forgiven her. Okay, your brother is. I mean, your brother probably never had those feelings because he was too young.
Yeah, and he's also just he's blinded by I have a mom now.
Yeah.
I finally have a mom, but he
Mhm.
also that kind of like is again a gut wrench to OP
Yeah,
because
for everything that you've done, even though he doesn't quite understand everything you've done, you have still done it. You have still helped him get to this point. You have still taken care of him, and that like her being back doesn't negate all of the time and effort.
it doesn't feel the
parenting.
void. Yeah, it doesn't feel that void that you guys were motherless.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Yeah, no, OP, it doesn't mean that you didn't do all of that. You were there when she wasn't.
And don't let your family try and coerce you and make you feel bad for the way you feel, because it's true. These are your feelings. Don't just shove them down.
Yeah, and your brother's gonna have totally different feelings, and that's his right. And maybe she'll hurt him again. Hopefully not, but I think it's just focusing on you and trying to not, direct that anger at anyone else.
Yeah.
Feel that anger, feel your emotions in a healthy way. And then just you can, have that conversation with her and say like, "Hey, unfortunately, I understand you're back with my dad. You have that relationship with my brother. You've lost your chance to have a relationship with me.
Yeah.
I'll be nice, but you've lost that."
It's not going to be, you're my mom now. You are you, I am me. Great.
That's it.
Let's be adult here.
But there's a little bit left.
Mhm.
Am I truly just like her for resenting my brother for forgiving her and calling her his mother when I raised him myself with a depressed father at home when I was just a child myself? Or the fact that my father accepted her so quickly makes me see him as a weak-willed man that makes me question the respect I have for him? Did I resent the fact that I stayed here on the farm and not going to college? They made me skip a grade as well before my mother left us. Would I find some sort of new outlook on life at college that would make me more like my brother or father and be happy instead of being resentful? So my question is, what am I going to do now? I think very easy answers. It doesn't seem easy. Therapy.
100%.
And focus on yourself. You've spent so long being the adult, being the parent, that you don't know how to be a kid. You don't know how to look after yourself.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Look after yourself. What do you need? Do you want to go to college?
It's never too late.
Ask your, it's like, talk to your dad. Say, I want to go to college.
Yeah.
I know that
everyone
we
says
spoke
it's too
about.
late, but
yeah, it's like, no. If you want that, take that. Do that.
If she's back and we don't know, for how long, or if she's, there for good, your brother's an adult. Your dad is an adult now. I mean, your brother's in college too, but I think this is what Sophia said. Just go be free. You've had this shadow over your head of your mother leaving. This is the perfect time, or not the perfect time. There's no really perfect time now, but this is the time for you to actually just go learn who you are, what you want to do. And I mean, I know it seems like OP likes farms.
Yeah. Maybe you can get like a degree in farming.
Yeah.
In agriculture.
There's a big world out there.
Yeah. Folks, that is the end of that story. And we have one more we're going to get into. My mother tried to control my wedding.
No more control.
To start to even loosely explain my current situation, we have to go back to around September last year, 2024. My fiance, 24, female, and I at the time were looking to get married and had finally found the perfect place for the ceremony, reception, and place to stay for the wedding night. By the way, this comes from Trauma Dump Throwaway. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So the planning was going really smoothly, and everyone on both sides of our family were extremely excited to be involved in the planning and the big day. Then one day, my mother contacted me regarding who the bridesmaids were as well as who my best man was. And I informed her that I would be choosing my brother-in-law. as he was the one to introduce me to my partner and I have known him longer than my fiance. He then asked me to change the best man to my younger brother and for my fiance's bridesmaids to be reorganized so that my 2 younger sisters could be a part of the bridal party. No.
Yeah, that's not your choice.
That's immediate no.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Whoops.
I gently put the foot down and told her that it was mine and my fiance's day, and she had already chosen her bridesmaids, and that I had unfortunately informed my brother-in-law that I would like him to be my best man. This is when crap hit the fan for the first of many times. And trust me, it gets a lot worse. Oh no. She proceeded to bombard me and my partner with messages saying that she, along with my stepfather, 41 male, and my brother and sisters would not attend the wedding if my brother and sisters were not upfront with me and my soon-to-be wife.
Guess what? That sucks. Guess you're not gonna be there.
I'm gonna give them all recorders, and they're gonna be up front in a little band formation.
Playing a little Titanic.
Yeah.
My heart will go on.
That's what you guys get, okay?
You
and you get what you get, and you don't get upset.
And you guys don't get to practice.
No, you just get up there. We give you no. It's 10 minutes before the wedding starts. We go, okay. So these are the notes. This is how you play the recorder. You guys got this. Here's the sheet music. Figure it out.
You guys got this.
Cue me trying to come to some form of compromise to ensure that I can still have my family there to witness me getting married, and finally agreeing to put a pin in it for now. However, explicitly informing my mother and stepfather that my brother and sisters were not going to be my best man / my fiance's bridesmaids. And despite the conversation we had via text, I left it on what I thought was a nice note. The following week after this conversation, myself, my fiance, my mother-in-law, both 44 female, my twin sisters, both in their early teens at the time, my sister-in-law, 26 female, and my grandmother, 72 female, had booked ourselves into an open evening at the venue we had chosen to view it all done up as if it were prepared for our big day. My mother then turned up 1 hour late to the agreed time to be at the open evening with my sisters and grandmother. After a brief hello and exchanging some pleasantries, my mother addressed the entire group. So are the girls bridesmaids yet? My mother-in-law and partner both had a confused look on their face. So I spoke up for her and said, no. Unfortunately, the bridesmaids have been chosen by her and for her because they're the bride's maids, not the mother-in-law's maids. It's not in the name.
Exhausting. I'm already exhausted from her.
You know what? This mother-in-law needs to go talk to the people from the first story because she would I feel like if she went on a retreat with the people from the first story, she would come out enlightened. She would reach nirvana.
Smooth like butter.
She would be bodhisattva? She would be one of the enlightened people.
What'd you call me?
My mother then proceeded to go ape crap in front of the entire staff at the venue and caused a scene, which then set my mother-in-law off, who then began arguing back with her, calling her a few choice words and some names for causing this drama. Myself and my partner quickly left afterwards, while it was still going on, to go home and deal with the situation later, as we were exhausted from the embarrassment and how mentally taxing it was to be involved in such a situation. Around 5 hours-ish later from this happening, we both got a bombardment of messages from my mother and stepfather, hating on my mother-in-law, me, and my fiance for planning an ambush, as well as a few violent threats being made to myself and my partner. Well, this is so fun because you guys won't be coming to the wedding anymore.
Yeah.
You made this so easy. We don't even have cut the recorder. Cut the recorders. We're just not gonna have you at the wedding. Don't worry. At this point, I was mentally done with the situation and also was done.
Oh, look at that. We can all agree.
At the time of this all happening, we were living in a property that belonged to an extremely good and longtime friend of my stepfather's.
Uh-oh.
And because we didn't take my mother's side straight away, my stepfather also said he would have a word with his friend to see if he could punt us out. That seems illegal. I feel like you could prove that's illegal. You could be like, hey, police, they're trying to kick us out because my stepfather doesn't like our wedding choices.
They're doing what?
You heard it here first, police.
Well, that's not allowed.
We actually need some people for our recorder orchestra. Are you free? So after talking to my mother-in-law and relaying what was said over the phone that night, my mother-in-law along with my sisters-in-law and brothers-in-law, moved us out the very next day with a few vans to avoid any further conflict or strings attached to my mother and stepfather. Now they have nothing to hold over you, effectively making us homeless. Oh, and the both of us sleeping on my mother-in-law's couch. Okay, so
They had their roof over you. They had that.
that
Dang.
seems like a bad plan. Okay. This then somewhat fortunately turned into us staying at my fiance's boss's guest house for 2 months. Nice that your fiance's boss is cool. All the while, my mother and stepfather were going ape crap at us for leaving my stepfather's friend's property that they threatened to get you kicked out of. So,
Yeah, at this point, I say we postpone the wedding.
oh, because the housing situation
The
is
housing
so, yeah.
situation. Get back on your feet. There's no. People always seem to like, let's just rush it. Let's just rush it. You don't want to rush it. This is your day.
But I mean, you might lose all those deposits, which if you're already financially, kind of iffy, you don't want to waste all that money. But I totally understand what you're saying. Like, if you
Yeah.
truly are in just not the right headspace at all, and you can afford to, or you won't lose all of those deposits, maybe
I'll get
postpone.
most of it back. Yeah.
However, if you can, or if you can't do that,
Because this just makes things so much more stressful.
if you
That it
can't
should
do
be.
that and you have to do the wedding, don't invite your mom or your father, your stepfather. Keep them out. After going no contact for a while we were staying in the guest house and searching for a property that was more suitable for us, we then found out that my fiance was pregnant. Whoa, a lot is going on.
Read the next sentence.
So, like an idiot, I wanted to try and maintain some form of relationship with my mother. Like an idiot. And to
There's so much
ensure
going
she
on.
met her first grandchild when they arrived. Did we forget that she tried to get you kicked out of your place and now you're
Oh.
living in somewhere else because you were worried about getting kicked out of your place by your mother and
Did
stepfather?
she also try to hijack your wedding planning and pretty much make it her kind of wedding?
OP's got very short-term memory. I informed my mother that we were expecting our first child. Then, for the first time in around 3 months, we managed to put the differences we had aside for my sake and my soon-to-be child's sake. My fiance and I finally found a property and began focusing on the new arrival instead of the wedding. It was canceled until further notice. Honestly, makes sense. You're about to have a child.
The baby was what broke the camel's back
Yeah.
there. You're like, oh, right.
You're like, okay,
That's
we don't have a place. Okay, my mom sucks. Oh, we have a baby. Okay.
okay.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah.
As far as we knew, anyway. Then, for a good while, everything slowly but surely began to get better and was looking like it was before, except my fiance had next to no contact with my mother. My son was finally born this year.
I'm the gender
Happy-
reveal.
Yeah. Happy and healthy, although a bit premature. Once he was born, I was living life in absolute bliss. My partner finally managed to find it within herself to bring herself around to my mother's house with our son. Without any pressure from myself, might I add, and without a single apology from my mother and stepfather. That's the thing. If they had apologized, I might be a little bit more inclined to be like, yeah, okay.
They're never
You're
going
out,
to.
you had a kid. You didn't have a kid. I'm sorry. You had no apology from them. They have made no attempts to reconcile with you. Why would you want to welcome them back into your life?
I don't know
Keep
why we're
them
going
at
back.
arm's distance.
Yeah, I don't know why we're going back to
I
them.
have no idea.
There was no I don't
I feel
see
like
why
it's
not
that
until an
expectation.
apology.
Yeah, exactly.
Until an apology was said or given.
Yeah.
Why would I, especially if they're my parents, why would I want to go back? Yes, I have our son. I'm living my
Yeah.
life with absolute bliss.
Exactly.
Why do you want to ruin that?
My mother has met my son a grand total of 2 times. The first time was a week after he was born, and the second time was 4 days after that. As of this post, he is nearly 4 months old. Flash forward to his baptism 2 weeks ago. I had organized the entirety of both families to be there for myself, my fiance, and my son.
The mom's going to be like, can your sisters also get baptized?
Yeah, can you just baptize them, please?
Can I also get baptized?
Yeah, everyone should get baptized.
It's about our family.
Can we baptize your child? Can I do the head dunking, please? And begged my mother to be there and to bring my sisters and brother. Ultimately, she never turned up and made an excuse that she wasn't feeling well. I had made it known to my fiance, my mother-in-law, and grandmother that I was quite upset that my mother hadn't made an effort with my son, her first grandchild, since he was born. and didn't make the effort to attend the baptism service or function for even 1 hour of her time, and that my mother could have at least organized it so my brother and sisters could attend. This infuriated my mother-in-law, and she was very empathetic towards me. My mother-in-law then took it upon herself to message my mother, expressing her disapproval that she didn't attend that day, unbeknownst to my knowledge. That's not going to turn out well.
Don't you remember their BFF Jillies?
Yeah, they literally had like a screaming match at that other wedding event. I can't imagine this is going to turn out well.
No, this is going to go so well. She'd be like, you're right. You called me out. You're so right. I should have been there.
And be there for my son and his child. This then snowballed into a hate campaign being made towards my mother-in-law by my mother, including a bunch of nasty messages being exchanged between both my mother and my mother-in-law. After a week of nasty messages being exchanged periodically between them, my mother-in-law messaged and phoned my mother asking to come around to her house to talk this out like adults.
Oh man, I want to see this.
Dude, they're going to be like there, like, yeah, let's talk. Let's talk.
Let's talk. Let's talk.
Put my earring back on.
Honestly, the mother-in-law is doing way too much.
But I actually kind of agree that the mother-in-law, I understand that the mother-in-law is doing this from like a good place.
She's trying to, but
she's trying to protect OP. But
she's talking to a immovable object.
Yeah, it's like sometimes we just.
Do you think she is doing this because she was a bad mom to OP's husband?
OP is the husband. No.
No, I think she's doing this because she's a good person and she understands.
I think that she wants to protect OP.
She wants to be a motherly figure towards her son-in-law.
Yes, but I think that like sometimes when you got a crazy person, the best thing is just to take a step back and not interact with them and not poke the bear.
It's the screaming match of like who can scream louder. Just walk away. They're just gonna look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you just need to focus on your fiance, your child, and leave your mom to her own devices.
Yeah, stop giving. I know you want to have that relationship with them, but there's no point in doing that. They're just toxic and they're narcissistic and they just want their way, and that's it.
And that there were no physical threats being made towards her. And if she can message all those nasty comments, she can also express herself freely face to face. Those aren't threats. They're about to tussle. They're about to tussle, man. Someone get those brothers in the ring because they're about to throw down.
They're about to throw down.
But you can throw on more episodes like this if you go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. The blind one says WWE Granny style. In the ring, we have Mother.
In the other ring, we have Mother-in-law.
Dun, dun, dun.
Which mom is going to win the belt? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't watch that. That's all I got for you guys. Upon arrival at my mother's house with my sister-in-law driving as she can't drive, my mother-in-law approached the door and knocked. As my mother answered the door, it got physical.
Immediately.
Shocked.
Like, who's there?
Shocked. Who's there? It's my fist.
Call an ambulance.
Not for me. Dude, who could have saw that coming? Literally anyone with eyes. Anyone with eyes.
I wish I was there.
Your mother-in-law specifically said, "Oh, yeah, it's not going to get physical." Why would she need to say it's not going to get physical?
Read between the lines of
I would assume it would not get physical.
It was going to be extremely physical.
She meant it's not going to be physical.
Tell your friends, tell your husband, tell your family you're about to get embarrassed.
My mother-in-law finally managed to escape through the front door. Wait. So your mother-in-law shows up at your mom's house. Your mom opens the door. Your mother-in-law, we don't know who threw the first punch. Someone throws the first punch. Your mother-in-law escapes through the front door? Or was she already in the house
This is cool. This is I want a video of this.
Well, my sister-in-law punted my mother's front door as she had seen there was a scuffle behind the door as it had frosted glass on the front. And to finally fast forward to now, my mother-in-law had just been arrested 2 hours ago as my mother had filed a police report against her. To preface, my mother-in-law has photographic evidence of the aftermath and the text messages to prove this, so I'm not sure how things are going to proceed. Advice is appreciated. And folks, there is nothing more to that story, but we don't have really information on who started it. Mother-in-law had to have known what was gonna happen.
Yeah, once you get,
she had to have known.
That's why you always say meet in a neutral zone.
Yeah,
you don't go on someone's property. Yeah, mother-in-law is doing a little bit too much. My advice to you, OP, is just live with your family.
Yeah.
Focus on your new baby boy.
Focus on your baby boy.
And just have a good time, and then plan the wedding when you guys are back on your feet and more stable.
Mm-hmm.
Stop giving the light of day to your mother. There's no point in it. She's going to sit on that pompous horse that she's on. That's my advice.
Yeah.
The mom is a tricky one.
She's
I would
tricky.
have waited for the mom to show up on mother-in-law's property. It does not look good to show up at the mom's house.
No, it doesn't.
No, I think mother-in-law.
That's probably why she got arrested.
No, 100%. Mother-in-law was just like baffled by like how dumb your mom is. And
No. Mother-in-law showed up on OP's mom.
Yeah. No, but I think yeah. Mother-in-law was just so fed up. She's like, I don't care anymore. I'm too old. I want to have a conversation with her.
I'm gonna talk to her.
Yeah.
We're gonna share a couple words, if you know what I mean. And then she went over to the mom's house.
It's like it was all brewing. Like she can't fathom how dumb OP's mom is and like how selfish she is. So
personally, I think that you should limit contact with your mom a lot, because this is just too much.
yeah, she doesn't deserve to see her grandson, your child.
Not
No.
at all. Not at all. But folks, that is the end of that story
And
the end of this episode.
Are we
no,
at-
I lied. We have
Yeah.
one more, folks.
My boyfriend chose me over his mother, and now she's blaming me for it?
You had to make a choice.
To start, I'm 22 female, and my boyfriend is 24 male. He's in the military and gets out in a year. Woohoo! We're very close, and he's the love of my life, and he has expressed the desire to get married. I've told him I'd say yes when his contract is over and we have more money. By the way, this comes from user AstroBelisk, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, we're currently saving for a house. In other words, this is a serious relationship and is definitely headed towards marriage and starting a family. Since we started dating, I have not been to his home state to meet his family due to my job. I haven't accrued enough pay time off to be able to take off for the amount of time that would be needed to drive 10 hours and stay a few days, because I just started accruing in March when my contract became permanent. He's opened up to me about his family dynamic though, and more specifically, his mother. His mother is a very my way or the highway type of person, and she tends to get very upset when he refuses to comply. He decided last winter that he would stay with me over his holiday leave instead of going home, because he said to me that he wanted to spend Christmas with me and my family because frankly, we're emotionally easier to be around. He felt as if his mother used him as a therapist when he was home due to his brother passing 2 years ago at his job.
Oh. At his job? Oh, that's rough.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, she probably holds that. Like, not necessarily blaming him, but it's definitely one of those things where, like, your brother passed away and it's just...
Yeah, you need to take care of me.
Yeah, ugh.
Yeah.
I had no problem with this and expressed the want to buy Christmas presents for his family and mail them. I had bought them and everything, and we put them up to wait until closer to time. Thanksgiving, she FaceTimed him, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to introduce myself. I'm normally very shy / don't speak much, so this was a big deal to me. I waved and said, hello, and tried to introduce myself, but she jumped straight into talking to her son. Okay, it's okay. Maybe it was the wrong time to do that, or she didn't hear me, so I'll wait and try again later. I ended up introducing myself to a few other family members, though, when she passed the phone around. Once she got the phone back, I was about to try again when she asked him if he was coming home for Christmas. And I guarantee you, this is not going to be good.
There's going to be a problem.
Yep. We both kind of froze, and I knew my introduction to her was not going to happen that day. She loudly exclaimed to his grandmother that he would not be coming home, and she seemed sad, which made him feel guilty.
Oh, wait, sorry. I thought the mom was saying that the grandma said, oh, are you coming back for Christmas? And the mom was
No.
like, he's not coming back.
No, mom asked, like, are you coming home? So,
Oh, okay. Okay, the first time I got it right then.
yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Then his mom took the phone and went into a private area and let him have it. You're not coming home for the holidays.
Oh my goodness.
It was so bad that my own mother texted me to come help her with the tablecloth. She asked me if he was okay because of how badly his mother was talking to him, like a dog, basically.
Oh, God.
Jeez. This guy's also in the military, so
Yeah.
can you imagine a big military man
Being berated by his
and just
mom?
I
Sure,
guarantee
also-
you he's taking it too. He's not saying
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, that's really rough because this guy's he's probably taken a lot of like kind of this, not like adulting or anything, but like caretaker role of his mom and grandmother because of the loss of the son
Yeah.
or of her other son / his brother. And so like he doesn't want to like push back against her or anything.
And this is pretty much the first time too that OP is
Yeah, being
basically
introduced.
introduced over the phone, over on FaceTime. I cried after he got off the phone with her because I never realized how badly she could talk. Another time he was on the phone with her, he told her an idea we had that he was excited about, and she told him it was stupid.
She's stupid. No one get that other mother-in-law in here.
Get her in the ring.
She's got words.
Get her in the ring. I don't think she realized I was right there and can hear her, but she specifically told him, and this is what stuck with me, I don't care about your little friends on base or your little girlfriend. I care about you, and I will always be your #1 cheerleader in this life.
Also, like, nemesis freaking hates you.
#1 point of anxiety
Yeah.
and stress. This took me aback because I felt I had been doing most of the cheerleading recently, and all she had been doing was tearing him down. He got sad at that and ended the call with her, and I ended up comforting him and telling him I still thought his idea was good and that his intentions were good. There have been other instances of them fighting and her saying terrible things to him, like calling him by his biological father's name. Ooh, very sore spot. And he expresses the feeling that she only ever calls him with terrible news. For instance, someone passed away. His stepfather that he calls Dad's heart is not doing well. So just bad stuff. And I guarantee you she wants to use him as like a cheer me up kind of thing.
Yeah, I think she just puts all of that emotional turmoil on him and all of her anger and frustration and stuff. He's like this emotional punching bag.
I've been too scared to reach out to her myself after all these instances to introduce myself and try to bond with her.
But the thing is that like she's awful.
Yeah.
It's really hard to bond with someone who's just awful.
Yeah, and OP is very shy herself.
Yeah. And you have this person who just screams at her own son. Like, I don't think it's going to bode well for you.
I feel like the one that should really introduce them is the son, but I feel like he's tried.
Yeah.
Like, Mom, this is my girlfriend. And like, I don't care about her. I want you. Who are you?
I think he needs to make, a lot. I mean, this is maybe a conversation that you can have with him, but I think you need to create some boundaries, or he needs to create boundaries with his mom.
This makes it even harder for him to go no contact with her because he's the only one left.
Yeah. I mean, you when you don't have a lot of family left, you kind of bond with the ones that you have, but she's not worth that. It's not worth the pain and just
it's like, yeah,
mistreatment. That
he wants to marry you, and there's a reason why you really haven't met his part of the family. Yeah. Recently, it's gotten a lot worse. He has expressed the desire to get married, which I'm very excited about, and has started telling his family back home that I am the one he wants to be with forever. This was met with overwhelming support for him, and I was happy his family seemed to like me, even if I haven't met them physically just yet. His mother seemed to not really care, and when he pressed her about it, she admitted she felt indifferent towards me. This angered my boyfriend, and he asked her how could she say that because this is very important to him, and I'm important to him as well. He asked why she hadn't put in any effort to get to know me, or even ask about us as a couple. She then responded that she was tired of being the villain in his story and refused to talk about it any longer.
That's something a villain would say.
Yeah, true villain.
Yeah,
true villain.
She's self-aware.
This hurt his feelings and mine because I felt that I tried towards the beginning to make an impression, but she ignored me. Since then, he's been getting phone calls from others in his family expressing disappointment about him fighting with his mother about something like this. He is now refusing to go see her when we plan to go to his state to visit the rest of his family. I understand things are strained and it's inadvertently my fault. It is not your fault.
It's not at all your fault.
She's
been treating him like this for much longer than you've been around, it seems. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
She's making a decision that has nothing to do. I mean, like, yes, in part it has something to do with you, but in reality, it has everything to do with your partner's relationship with his mother and how she's treated.
100%. I feel bad for OP because I guarantee you OP's like, it's my fault, and she's berating him more because she loves her husband or soon to be husband, but she's like, it's my fault that no, it's not.
Not at all.
So I want to know how I can fix it. If there's something I can do to show her that I don't want any strife between her and her son.
Nope, nothing. You didn't do anything in the first place, so there's nothing that can be done to fix it on your end.
Here's a therapist.
Yeah, therapy for your partner, showing your partner that you are family and you support him and you're going to be there for him in a way that his mom has not done.
Should I steel my nerves and reach out to her? How do I help in a situation like this? I don't want him to cut contact with his mother because she doesn't really care for me, but I feel like maybe I can turn things around if we meet in person too.
He's not cutting contact with his mom because she doesn't care for you. That's not.
Yeah.
OP's got it all wrong.
Oh yeah.
It's not not in a mean way, but it's not about you. It's about, again, how your partner has been treated by his mom, and it's not been good. And she's made her choices. She's got to own up to her own actions, which she won't, but
and I guarantee
there are consequences.
She's going to play the victim card of like...
Absolutely. And she'll blame it on you.
Oh, 100%. Oh, she reached out to me?
Yeah.
She has the gall to tell me to be a better mother?
Or, she didn't reach out. Like, she's pulling my son away. She's going to blame everything on you. That doesn't mean
it's like one of those diagrams, like whatever angle it goes to, it's going to come back to you.
Yeah, because she doesn't know how
to be in a negative way.
Take responsibility.
My father says to stay out of it because she sounds like a self-absorbed person. She is. But I really don't have any experience with people of that nature. You don't want to have any of that. Reddit. Have you dealt with somebody like this? What should I do? And there's an edit /update. Let's go into that. I didn't expect the overwhelming response and feedback. So I'm glad to see so many people have been supportive of my boyfriend and giving us helpful advice. Thanks to all who commented on or messaged me privately with advice and reassurance that I did not miss a social cue or do something wrong to cause any problems. I'm a big worrywart about those things. So the update is that we've spoken about this post and we've looked into some of the terms that people mentioned, and he's seen some of the things people have said about narcissism. I think he's still processing things that his mother could actually be capable of hurting him this way. That's crazy that he hasn't noticed that at all. You know?
I mean, it's hard when you grow up with that. It's really hard to notice that this is not normal, and then you're around people who actually have good family members.
He was self-aware. He was self-aware. Yeah. Sorry to cut you off there.
No. I was just saying, and then you're around people who have good relationships, and you're like, oh, this isn't how my mom's supposed to treat me.
Yeah. He is self-aware. Yeah. He's like, I'm embarrassed. And like, I don't want, like, don't be around my family. It's just very toxic. But yeah, that's very true. He's very angry right now at her for these reasons. I've also decided, thanks to the comments, that there is indeed nothing I can do in this situation to make things better. I wanted to believe that maybe I could, but it definitely seems that no matter what I do, it wouldn't be productive, like we said. We've also made a small plan regarding what to do when we go down to visit the rest of his family in the event she is there. We will definitely be staying in a hotel so we can strategically retreat if she begins her antics, LOL. And you can listen to our antics with full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. There's a little bit left, Sophia. I mean, we said the advice. OP's taking the advice. It's just, you can take a horse to water. You can't force them to drink it.
I think that, I mean, just for OP's, spine, I think when you grow up in a really good environment and you have people around you who are reasonable and you're able to solve problems through communication, and you've never been around a person who's so self-absorbed and just in their own world like this, you think that you can approach the problems that you have with them in a reasonable way by talking to them. You can't, because they're not reasonable. You can't reason with unreasonable people.
No. Again, it's like the last story. You're talking to like a brick wall.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it.
Exactly.
So it's something that... You have something?
Yes.
I hope he can experience unconditional love from a parent. He seems to need to provide something to be able to get the approval from his mom.
Yeah. I mean, he lost his brother. He probably has, again, that bond with his mom. But
again, there's a sore spot with his father.
Yeah. Just let him know that you're there and you guys are in a partnership, and that's all you can do.
Yeah. And I guarantee you, that's why he's like, can we just do holidays with your family?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
and that's probably like, whoa, that's what it looks like. That's insane.
Yeah.
So, and I guarantee he wants to maybe have that with his mother, but it's, again, you can't force him. Regarding our non-existent but future children, the only reason I said I would be okay with seeing them is because he told me his stepdad wouldn't be able to see them if she didn't. And I don't want to deprive him of seeing any grandkids because he didn't do anything and has always treated my boyfriend as his own son. He's a nice man, and it's not his fault his wife is the way she is. I wonder at times how he fares on his own now that the boys have their own lives. We'll definitely revisit this, though, when the time comes anyways. So trust that we'll always do what's best for us as a couple and our little family when we do begin that journey. And we have some comments. Comment number 1, you didn't cause a rift. It sounds like his mom looks for any reason to make herself number 1. The only way to be around someone like that is to keep a distance. If you end up marrying your boyfriend, you might never be liked by his mom. You're very young and need to have positive influences in your life. She doesn't sound like she would be very uplifting to either one of you, to be honest. And looks like that's the end of that story.
That's the end of that story. I agree with that. So yeah, you don't need her in your life. And if you want the stepdad in your life, then talk to him, have a conversation, say, hey, don't feel comfortable having mom in your life. We would love for you to meet the kids, but you have to make that your own choice there.
Yeah, it makes sense. But that is the end of that story.
And it's the end of this episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.